Hey guys, this is Juan for JuanSource.com, and I'm going to be doing another demo commentary. This is going to be the second in the series of 3 on DE season from the CGS demos. And a couple of things that I really want to talk about during this part of the series is that I'm really going to be kind of focusing on how we're going to adapt to how other teams are really countering us. We know that they've certainly viewed our demo from our previous match, and they know how we're going to play this. So I really want to go into how we're going to handle that, how just not allow us to get counter-stratted, as well as kind of dive a little bit further into some key concepts on season here. And I really hope that it helps you guys out a lot. So we're going to go ahead and start out here. I'm going to be focusing on B this first round because this is kind of a concept I talked about at A in the other commentary, but the same concept can kind of be applied here at B. And what you'll see here is that Volcano and Method are pushing up here, and they're going to be doing pretty much the same thing that myself and K-Sharp were doing at the other bomb site last commentary. They're double smoking this entrance off right here, and you'll see from Volcano's POV here that they double smoke this. Now certainly the other team won't be able to see anything through that double smoke, and so they can just pretty much spam that, pretty much hold that off and perhaps force them to go to the other site. Now they threw those smokes around 55 seconds or so they're going to last about 20 seconds down to about 35 seconds. So, you know, it's down to 35 seconds. It's not too likely that they're going to be coming to this site now. Since we have this whole entrance blocked off, there's not a whole lot of time left, so Mikey's able to rotate off, and we're able to hold this site now with an extra man here. So what I do here, you didn't get to see that whole thing of what I was doing there that round, but what I was doing is I was playing just kind of a goofy angle because I knew they watched my demo certainly, so I didn't want to play exactly the same way. So what I did was just spotted a really different angle so that they were kind of hopefully run up with their nades out, and that's exactly what they did. I got a free kill there, and then I got another kill coming up from this short, and then I noticed there's only about 20 seconds left, so I wanted to try to just delay there. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick up the rest of the kills there. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a silent mid push, and a lot of teams what they do here is when they push mid like this, they double nade that spot that Sal's looking at right now. You know, occasionally that's all right if a team's kind of dumb about jumping out mid, but most teams are pretty smart about that. They don't just jump out right away because those nades will come, and they wait back. So I think the nades are kind of pointless. I think instead of using nades, you just want to get up completely silent here. And we have 3 guys pushed up in middle. You'll see perhaps on the radar myself was pushed up on the right there, and Nick was picking down in the middle. So we had 3 pushed quietly in middle, and so when they ran out, they completely didn't expect it, and they just kind of ran into a trap there. And 3 of us were set up ready to just you know, tear them apart. And that's exactly what we did. But you'll notice in this demo, we played mid there on the second round. In the last match, we did not play mid at all, and partially because we wanted to just kind of change it up a little bit, but I think the main reason why we're playing mid is because you want to, as defense on season, you want to play into where the other team is going. So if they're a mid-heavy team, if they use middle a lot to take the sites, that's exactly where you're going to want to be playing. If they take the corners, when I say corners, I mean like the dungeon and the B halls, is you want to be playing heavy on those corners then, if they're not really using the middle. So you really want to play into where they're going to go. And so that's going to be kind of the theme as counter-terrorists, as well as you got to think of that when you're as a terrorist, too. You want to be going where they are not playing. So that's going to be a theme I'm going to talk about a lot during this commentary, and it's going to come up quite a bit. See, what I'm doing here is I'm pushed up to this middle right here. I have Nick spotting the middle, and so I don't necessarily have to worry about that guy crossing and killing me right here, so I can just kind of spot the squeaky. When I do get a call from Nick that the guy's crossing, I can quick peek out and get a pretty easy kill because he's likely not going to be looking at me. And that's exactly what's going to happen here in a second. Nick's going to call that he's crossing here, and then as soon as he crosses, I can peek out and get an easy kill here. Meanwhile, Kyle is opping upper, and now it's down to 30 seconds here, so they pretty much have to make a move. So even if Nick doesn't call that he's crossing right here, I'm still going to peek any second now because they really have to make a move. 20 seconds to go. So I peek out, I get Mo. When he's crossing there, that generally means that he's going to come towards A. There's no reason he should be crossing there if they're going towards B. So I come back in here. They came out upper. They kind of smoked off Kyle. Not much he could do there, but we did get 3 kills, so it's down to a 2 versus 5 here. They have the bomb planted, so what we got to do is just be smart about this. Try to isolate these guys, not let them get easy kills on us. So I'm just spamming my nades here. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be blind here. So I chase up, get the kill. Now it's a 1 versus 4. What we have to do is just kind of get on the diffuse right away and pretty much check every angle. He may get the diffuser, which is exactly what he did, but I'm going to get on it. Then I have two guys covering exactly where he came from, and we should have no problem winning the round at that point. Okay, so I've played a little different the last couple rounds. Both last two rounds I pushed into the short there, and I just kind of waited for someone to peek. I'm gonna go back into my kind of old play style here and just see how they handle it. When they kind of rush up there, one guy came really fast, so I used both my flashes there. That's going to allow us to get our smokes up, and as soon as our double smokes up here, I feel very safe here. I mean, it's pretty much putting up like a temporary wall right here. They know that they can't run through this. They saw what happened in the core demo when core tried running through double smokes. They're just going to get plowed here. They're not going to be able to see anything. So really what we're trying to do here is just delay and wait for our rotates here, and you're going to see this on another round too. And so what they did there is they waited for the double smokes to come out. Once they faded, then they came out. And that's really the way to counter that. If you see those double smokes as terrorists, you need to wait out the smokes. But even then, there's probably going to be an over-rotate to this site. So, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do in that situation. Perhaps maybe faking there, drawing the double smokes, hoping for over-rotate, then faking back to the other site. You could possibly do that as terrorist if you see that. But it's really hard to counter those double smokes. Okay, so myself and Kyle at this site, we're going to do something similar. It's going to look like the same setup, but we're actually doing something quite different. Kyle is posted up right here, and he's watching short, and I am watching the dungeon right here. As soon as I spot something, we're going to switch. I'm going to watch the short, and he's going to watch the dungeon, and we're not going to use smokes. That's the whole goal of this. It's an alternative setup to pretty much throw them off. When they see me spotting this, they're going to expect the double smokes to come any second now. So what happens is we switch. Now Kyle is watching in the dungeon, and I'm watching his spot now. So we switched. They're going to expect the double smokes. When they don't see him coming, they're going to be probably a little bit confused. And now that we have an opera posted up on that, hopefully they'll just walk out. But what they did do is they smoked into that. Or they smoked on that spot, and I made a mistake there by peeking before my smoke was fully bloomed, and he was sitting in it. He could see me, I couldn't see him. So that's kind of a mistake to note. Is you definitely don't want to peek that if it's single smoked. You either want no smokes or double smokes. Single smoke is definitely their advantage, and I pretty much showed it right there. So definitely a mistake on my part. But the idea of the strat there was just throw them off, have them walk out where Mikey is right now. Have them walk out there, and Kyle was posted up right down that angle, so that Kyle probably would have been able to get a pretty easy kill with his op there if they just walked out. Okay, here you're gonna see us double nade this middle, and really. Yeah, that was double nades. And really, I don't like the idea there. I mean, we've done it from time to time, but looking back on it, I think it's probably a bad idea. Mo would just peek out there, got a pretty easy kill on Sal, and they knew that we were push middle. As soon as they knew that we were push middle, what they did was they just rushed B. They got the bomb plant, and they did a good job of doing that. And that's a good idea as terrorist. If you hear those double nades mid, and you're going to see that on our terrorist side as well, is you just want to avoid middle and hit the corners. You want to go where they are not. And so they were able to just get an easy plant down, and it's going to be very difficult for us to win this round since they have positioning and the plant. Okay, again, this is something that we did once in the last commentary. Sal pushes up here, and Mikey just kind of sits back. Mikey sits in the pit. I'm going to show you his point of view in a second, but since Sal pushes up here, he gets one trade kill, and then Mikey's sitting back here in the pit. And you'll see on the radar, we have two guys rotating, and since Sal called that, I believe he saw the bomb there. We have three guys set up into this position right here, and so we had a good trap set up for them since they were likely coming into B, and we noticed that there was a fake going on at A. However, the whole rotation kind of screwed up by myself, getting picked by Mo in middle. When we had that rotate over to the other side, I probably should not have been so aggressive. When I saw Mo there, I just ran out and got picked, and that kind of screwed up our whole setup here. But the idea was just to get Sal pushed up, have him spot. When he saw bomb, we had a good rotation, and we were ready for them to come in the site. However, myself just running out and dying just kind of ruined that, and they were able to take, at least they were able to fake the other site. But Mikey did a good job of getting a couple kills while he was in the pit there, and we were able to pick up the round. Okay, I haven't really showed Kyle's point of view a whole lot. He's the opera on this side, and like I mentioned in the other commentary, I do like having one opera, one rifler. You know, if you can, obviously that won't be the case all the time. You're gonna have to double rifle if you're low money. But what Kyle does is he just kind of plays this corner most of the time, spots this, and then our whole goal is just to delay with double smokes and with flashes and just allow for rotates and flanks and whatnot. So what you're gonna see here is we're just spotting. I'm spotting deep into the dungeon. Kyle is spotting through short here. He sees that guy coming right there, and we notice this is probably an A split here. So we call for a rotate, and now our whole goal here is just to delay as much as possible. Kyle's just streaming flashes. We have the double smokes out. They're not likely gonna come out the dungeon here, and as soon as those flashes go off, you know, our flank is coming in. Our rotation should be here any second. So it's gonna be a lot easier to hold the site with that flank and rotate. Nick flanked through the middle. That's questionable. He probably should have come through turnpike, and instead of him flanking with an op, one of the riflers should have been flanking. And Nick should have probably just been in the turnpike there, posted up with his op. And that's probably, you know, what cost us there. Kyle and I did a good job of delaying. In fact, I think they planted the bomb with only 12 seconds left in the round, and in fact our rotations were pretty much almost there, so we should have held the site. Just a matter of shot hitting at that point. Okay, here we're just on a save. It's the last round. Not necessarily a save, but we bought out, but we only have deagles here. So what we want to do is just try to be random here. He nades me right here. In most cases, I would probably random peek out here, but since he naded me, he obviously has a pretty good idea that I'm there. So what we have to do here is probably just try to be random, try to push into the spots. I come back to Kyle. Hopefully we double up this and get a good kill, at least a trade kill coming in there. War Machine was already in. Kyle didn't spot on me. Got a pretty easy kill on myself. And this is pretty much just a failed save. Well, it's down to a 2 versus 3, but the bomb's spotted on the other side. We don't have kits, and it's going to be difficult to win this round. Okay, so in this first half, we had a pretty good half. A couple times, I think we made a couple mistakes, myself included, and those double nades in the middle probably did not help us that one round. Again, it's a dead tell that you're probably pushing middle, and they can pretty much just hit a corner. Most good teams will realize that, and they just hit to where you aren't, and that's going to be what makes our T sides so successful. And in fact, all 3 of these T sides, we get 7 rounds in all 3 of these commentaries, and really the success is due to we're running the right strats at the right time. I think we're hitting where they are not playing, and we're doing a good job of getting entry kills on those strats. So you'll see, I'm going to show my point of view. The strat right now is to hit through the dungeon, and myself in vents and Nick in middle. Again, we're doing our terracide setup. We're doing our smoke grenades, then hitting the dungeon, and we're just kind of getting in our setup, showing our setup, and hopefully making him think that we're going to another site. But what happens here is when I get spotted in the vent, and I know there's at least 2, maybe 3 pushed in the middle right here, I just have Nick post up on that vent, on the ramp, and I just sit in the vent right here and keep them held to me, because my teammates are in A, and if I can keep those guys away from my teammates in A, they can get bombed down and plant, and I just stay alive in the vents here, we're going to be in really good position in the round. You know, there's no reason for me to run out there, try to get a kill or anything. All I need to do is stay alive, and we're going to win the round. If I die there, it's, you know, much less chance that we're going to pull it out successfully. Two versus 1 here. We just stay posted on the bomb. Pretty standard. Just shoot them together. Peek together or don't peek at all. You know, pretty obvious stuff. Okay, again, I'm going to show myself in the vent here, and kind of how, you know, just being in this vent, and I can pretty much hear almost all of middle here, and I can have a good idea of how they're playing setup just by going in the vent here. Now, I got shot at by a guy in the jail there, and so when I get shot at by that guy, I figure they're probably playing probably playing one towards jail and one in B. So that what I do is I go back here and I group up with these other 2 guys to hopefully rush into the upper part of B here, get a trade on this guy playing B, because the other guy is towards jail or towards CT spawn, and he's not going to be able to help out with him quite as easily. So we just go towards upper here, stick in a tight group. We're quiet though, because we don't want to cause an over rotate here. by being loud, and we just get up here. I smoke off this upper rafters here, and we just try to get out here because there's gotta be an opera in that jail or in spawn right away. And Nick comes up from the lower part. Got the guy in spawn here. I just try to get the bomb plant and then sit in the pit. Pit is such a great spot for post plant because there's so many angles that you can just block flashes from, random peek, whatnot. It's just a really good spot to stay alive, and just delay as long as possible post plant. You'll see, I'm just playing that angle on that box here, and even though I'm missing, it's still very unlikely that he's gonna get a headshot off on me there because I'm just working that box there. It's such a great post plant spot. Okay, so what we did there, it was kind of a delayed hit B. We want to kind of avoid delayed hits on this map because I think it's pretty easy to over-rotate to other sites. So what we want to do is generally run fast strats so that we don't give them the chance to over-rotate. Don't give them a chance to spot and get to the other side like we do on our terrorist side. Sorry, our counter-terrorist sides. What we do to other teams is we just kind of spot and then we over-rotate. So what we do is we hit a fast dungeon here, and again we're hitting the corners because they've been playing up on middle, and so we want to avoid middle and just hit dungeon and hit the B hallways. They come up together, Mikey, Kyle, and Sal. They come up, get the trade on the guy right here, and then Nick and I are just gonna kind of flank from middle. I'm just waiting, sitting in this vent, watching flanks and whatnot. I get a pretty easy kill there. However, all my team is down at the rest of the site here. Come up through here, I get a pick on Mo. I'm not quite sure what he was doing. They have the bomb down the site. And since the bomb down is the site, I'm pretty sure that he's playing in the site. However, he did a good job by repositioning after he got the kill. He got out of Turnpike, and instead of going in the site, he went back into CT spawn. My goal there was to flank through upper, hopefully get positioning, height advantage on the site, and try to spot him, then get the bomb and plant. But he did a good job of getting out of there. I didn't expect him to be in that spot. Okay, so on the previous round, I noticed that they were playing solo short and solo in the dungeon. So what we want to do here is just try to split up on A, and hopefully if we can get a trade or a pick on one of the areas on A, either at short or dungeon, it'll be very likely that we can take the site because they're not really assisting each other. They're just playing it solo by themselves. So again, we do our smoke setup, and then we transition into a split strat here. We go through short, which we haven't really done yet. Kyle comes out of dungeon, and instead of getting just one of the kills, he got both, which really helped us out here. And Garrett is playing in this pit here, so we both come in here, try to get the trade on him, and then Kyle and I, we just need to push out here, try to clear stuff before planting the bomb. We don't want to allow them to just peek out when we're playing the bomb and get a free kill here. So Kyle pushed out Turnpike, he got the kill there. We realize this last guy is short. Now it's down to a 1 versus 1, myself versus Paradox. I'm gonna try to grab the bomb here. Once I grab the bomb, I want to plant safe. Since there's only 20 seconds left, I don't want to allow him to push up on me, not allow me to get the plant down. So I get the plant down right away, and then I just kind of work this box right here. He's in the pit right here, so he has a kind of advantage on me. I can only see his head. So I just kind of hide, wait for him to get out of the pit. I was going to wait for him to go up the stairs, then shoot him. Sorry, the ladder. But when I heard a reload, I decided to aggress and push him, and I got the pretty easy kill on him reloading. Okay, so we're up 3-1. It's likely going to be an eco here. I go into the vents again. The thing I like about being in the vents here is I can really listen pretty much the whole middle part of the map. And then I recognize it's an eco here. I call for my teammates to come out the middle. I probably should not have re-peeked there since I was low health. And he did kill me. But my team does a good job of realizing here that's an eco. So what they're going to do is they're just going to get away from that guy that just got the gun. Paradox has a gun in the vents, so we just want to group, get away from that gun, and get the plant down in the other site away from the guy who has the gun, and just get the easy kills on the guys with the USPs. So we have a 2 versus 3. They probably don't have kits. They only have one gun. And what we want to do is just delay. Definitely good positioning here. They're probably going to save here. Since we have a money advantage, it's okay for us to chase. But we definitely don't want to lose our guns too, because it's still a pretty close game. So, but if they have ops, we probably would be chasing here. We didn't know that he did have an op. If we knew that, probably would have chased a little bit more aggressively instead of waiting this long. Okay, so again, they played middle of that round, and I think the last two rounds, in fact, they pushed towards middle. So what we want to do again is avoid middle, hit the corner. So we can either pretty much pick towards dungeon, our left side towards A, or we can go to the right towards B. What we decide to do here, I think, is just smoke up this entrance, or smoke up our middle, show our setup, and then take a fast towards B. Just group and go. And again, I'm in the vents here. I'm just paying attention to me. Since I didn't hear anything pushed in middle, I kind of throw our fake over at A here with just smokes and flashes, nothing too fancy. And then right after that point, I tell them they have to hit into B right now since the fake was just thrown. Otherwise, they're going to expect an over rotate pretty soon. And so, in fact, we did get a rotate to A temporarily. Now Mo's coming back towards B. So we have to do this quickly. And now you'll notice right here we lose this round. Sal did a poor job of checking all the way down there. He walked up there. He did not completely clear that angle right there. And Clown takes out two of us. Just playing a very passive angle, odd angle that you don't really see many players play, but he played it there. And just because we were so lazy, we're going to lose this round. He got two of us. Otherwise, we were in great position to pretty much win the round. Nick hits a couple nice shots, but it's still a 2 versus 1, and we're not going to win the round. Okay, so there they didn't play the middle. They played 2 in B, 2 in A, and 1 rotating through CT spawn. They played really passive in the middle, in fact, and I noticed what they've been doing after watching this demo is picking the middle early on, then rotating Mo off into Turnpike or towards B, depending on where the action is. So what we want to do, again, is go back to kind of what we did against the core in the early rounds. We did jail and B splits. We want to do that now, since they're playing so passive on middle now. We want to take advantage of that and hit the middle. Again, you always want to go where they're not playing. Since they're playing so passive on mid, we want to hit that now. And we're going to easily take through the jail here since this is smoked up, naded up, and we just run right past Mo here, and there's not much they can do. In fact, Mo wasn't even watching it. We get through here, and we get up. There's nobody even in the site here. We must have threw a convincing fake or something. I don't know why they thought we were hitting A, but they had 4 there, and so it's just a very easy take on B here. So that's probably a strat that we want to run again, unless we hear that they're adapting. And another benefit of using these T-side setup is that when I'm in the vent there, I can call if they're playing middle, or if they're playing back, if they're playing the corners, and so I can really I'll call the strat in the middle of at the very beginning of the round, but when I get to the vents in the middle of the round, if I see something that needs to be changed, we can transition to it easily. If we need to go back into B because they're playing up on middle, we can do that. Or if they're leaving middle open, we can come back from B, hit through middle. Just very easy to transition from one strat to the next when we're set up like this. And I just, it's important for me to be in the vents there. If I was in a different position, I wouldn't be able to call that. It's good that I'm the caller and I'm in the vents there. I'm really in the position to hear what's going on, and I can really make the calls, on the fly there because I can be aware of what's going on and I can generally make the best call. As opposed to if I was just sitting in waiting outside of B, that wouldn't work as well because I'd have to rely on someone else's call and it may not be quite as accurate as what I'm thinking. So I get in the vents here. I heard a guy rush up that middle there. It sounded like he either had a USP, but it definitely sounded like he was playing by himself. So what I did, even though they were playing in middle, I decided to still call my teammates up because it sounded like one guy was pushed up middle. I didn't hear double nades. I didn't hear an op shot from middle. I just heard one guy run up, break the vent. So at that point, I tell my teammates to come out here, and we just rush out, get the trade on that guy. In fact, we didn't even trade. We got the entry on him, and then we rushed the jail together, get the trade on the guy in the jail, and again get set up to win this round very nicely. Again, post plant. Mikey's in the pit. Works out very well for him. Nick just stays in the jail here as he should. He's got a lot of angles that he can just post up on his op with here, especially he's coming from the terrace side. And Mikey, again, just sits in the pit. Because of that box, he can just delay. Had he delayed just a few more seconds, even if he didn't get the kill, probably still would have won the round. So one guy solo pushed up middle last round. I'm not quite sure. No, he did have a gun. But again, I'm gonna just wait, get in our setup, throw our smokes, wait till I get in the vent, decide what we're gonna do at this point. Since we hear the double nades in the middle, we decide that we need to go towards B. Especially because there's a guy in the jail now. Again, I just sit here, draw attention to myself, hopefully pull attention off my teammates, and they can just stroll up through B. And in fact, nobody is even playing in B right now. They're all pushed to middle. There's one in jail, two double naded middle, so it's a very good chance that they're pushed up in middle, and I think they're just getting desperate at this point. So my team just strolls up into B, gets the easy plant, gets into position right here, and they all just have deagle, so there's pretty much nothing they can do at this point. Again, we get in pit. We got 2 in pit this time, which is even better. It's just like what I talk about on Inferno. If you get in pits, get in areas like this where you can really just dodge, waste it all the time. It's a lot more likely that you're gonna win the round, as opposed to just kind of playing out in the open, or playing obvious spots. And we get this last round. So the final score is going to be 11-7. Again, we had 7 rounds on the T side. And so, it's really just comes down to, recalling the right strat on the right round, I think. Knowing where they are and countering it. So, well, that's going to be it, I guess. And I hope you guys learned a lot, and I look forward to doing the next one.